Hello?
Hi, and welcome to our video review for Luigi's Mansion for the GameCube. This game is definitely a departure from what you're used to from previous Super Mario Bros. Games, in that there's really no platforms to jump, and in fact you can't jump at all. The gameplay mechanics in Luigi's Mansion, instead of following the jump and butt stop mechanics that you're used to in the past, it's all about capturing ghosts. The story goes that Luigi receives a weird letter from Mario stating that he's won a mansion, but the thing is Luigi doesn't even remember ever entering the contest. So he's asked to meet Mario, and he does venture to go see him, but when he gets there he finds that Mario's nowhere to be found and that the mansion is crawling with ghosts. So he sets out to extinguish the mansion of all the ghosts and to rescue his brother. In order for Luigi to exterminate the ghosts, he has to use a vacuum that's given to him by a small professor. The vacuum has a lot more uses than just vacuuming ghosts. It can also shoot water, it can shoot ice, and it can also shoot fire. And of course you'll pick those up as the game goes on. That won't be immediately available as the game starts. But basically how you do it is you'll have like ghosts roaming around the room. You'll turn your back on them and they'll come towards you. You'll spin around and you'll shine the flashlight on them. When you do that, it stuns the ghosts, and then you can see their heart. Once you can see their heart, you want to press the right trigger button, and then you'll start sucking the ghosts up. Now the ghosts aren't going to be easy to capture. They'll try to escape. In order to keep them from getting away, while you're sucking them up with a vacuum, you need to hold the left analog stick in the exact opposite position from the ghost, and that'll help you actually capture them a lot faster. Other than the ghost capturing in the game, which is predominantly the biggest part of the game, there's also lots of puzzles in the game that you have to solve. Some ghosts that just roam the mansion, you can pretty much just shine a light on them and you can capture them. But there are 23 other special ghosts in the game that you have to catch, and you have to do a little more to get them. There's one ghost that's lifting weights in a weight room. In order to make him snareable, you'll have to actually hit one of the heavy bags in the gym, and it'll hit the ghost, and then his heart will appear and you'll be able to capture him. There's another ghost that's shooting pool in a room, and when he shoots the pool, takes a shot, the billiard balls will fly into the air. You have to suck up one of the billiard balls with a vacuum and then aim at the ghost, hit him, and then his heart will appear. Another important aspect of Luigi's Mansion is finding treasure. And the reason it's important is because at the end of the game, your points are actually directly related to how much money you've collected. And there are some nice little extras that you get if you collect a lot of money. And this actually brings a lot of interactivity into the game, because pretty much every object in every room can be manipulated with the vacuum. You can suck pictures off of walls, you can pull tablecloths off of tables, you can rattle vases, and gold bars will fly out of them. So in traditional Nintendo form, there's a lot of little hidden secrets in the game, and if you really take the time to sort through each room, it definitely pays off for you at the end. The big problem with Luigi's Mansion's gameplay is that that's just about all there is to it. I know for a while a lot of people thought maybe there might be a lot more to the game, that maybe the vacuum was just kind of a precursor to other things to come, but that's simply not the case. Basically, the game lasts, the average player would probably finish the game in around 8 or 9 hours, which is also pretty short compared to what you're used to from Mario Brothers games. So that's kind of disappointing. But the thing is that by the time you get done with the gameplay has just about reached its limit as far as how much you can tolerate. So I can understand why they made it short, but at the same time, I think a lot of people are probably expecting more from the game than 8 or 9 hours of gameplay. The graphics in Luigi's Mansion are impressive, and they are probably the defining next-generation graphics for the console. Granted, Rogue Leader is probably a little more flashy, but there's a lot more effects going on in Luigi's world. Most impressive, to me at least, is the physics system. The vacuum, when it sucks in, affects everything in the world. And you can see dust particles floating in the air, and if you actually get the vacuum close to them, you can see the dust particles starting to gather, and they'll start being drawn into the vacuum. Another really cool thing about the game is the lighting. Luigi's flashlight will cast shadows off of everything, and sometimes the lightning will actually strike outside, and you'll see his shadow on the wall behind him, and you'll even see some ghosts that you may not see. You can see those shadows on the wall as well. So it's pretty cool, and the real-time lighting is used for some of the puzzles in the game, because sometimes you can't see the ghosts except for their shadows, so you have to use those to actually track the ghosts. Luigi, in traditional Nintendo form, again, looks fabulous. He's built of plenty of polygons. Even his vacuum looks great. When he runs, you can see the hose hopping around, and you'll see his nose bobbing up and down, and the animation is really spectacular. But unfortunately, because they dedicated so many polygons to Luigi, the worlds themselves are kind of blocky, and they could definitely use a few more polygons. The rooms are small. You don't get the big expansive worlds that you've seen in maybe Super Mario 64. So you would think that maybe they could do a little more with it, but in the end, apparently they couldn't. Another problem with the graphics that I should mention is the textures. The GameCube has been, it's been boosted up as being this texturing monster. But in this game, it's kind of hard to say that that's true. Granted, there's an exorbitant amount of textures in each room, and the texture variety is really impressive, but they're low resolution, and when you get up really close to them, they can appear a bit pixelated at times. So while Luigi is definitely one of the better looking GameCube launch games, it still can't compete with Rogue Leader. The sound in the game, it's solid, it's good, but the same tune is played throughout the entire game, and as catchy as it is, and believe me, I've been whistling it now for weeks, it still does get tiresome after a while. It's kind of cool that Luigi, he actually reacts to the song throughout the game. If he's almost dead, you can kind of hear desperation in his voice as he hums the song. And if he's at full health, he'll actually whistle along, and it'll be a lot more spunky. Overall, Luigi's Mansion is a technically strong game, and his graphics will definitely astound people. And if you're looking for a game to pop into your GameCube when your friends come over and you want to impress them, then this is a good one to do that. But with only 8 or 9 hours of gameplay, it's hard to rationalize spending $50 or $60 on the game for anyone but a collector. So I would say go out, rent the game. If you like the first couple hours, pick it up. If not, keep it, rent it for a few days, and you should have plenty of time to get through it at least twice.